If you're having suicidal thoughts or feelings or feel like you have no hope, please call 988. There, you can talk to someone who not only cares about your story, but cares about you. Please reach out today. Thomas P. Murphy once said, "Minutes are worth more than money. Spend them wisely." At Minutes Wisely, we take that to heart. Our mission is to decrease veteran suicide by providing life-changing experiences for veterans, first responders, and Gold Star families. We believe that we can make a lasting impact by rekindling a sense of purpose and fostering community through sponsored tickets to sporting events. These experiences are not just about the game, they're about the moments that can change lives. A simple sporting event can boost joy and instill a sense of renewed hope and purpose for those who have served. Join us in making a difference. Become a moment maker and empower a veteran with rediscovered hope. Visit minuteswisely.com for more information and to get involved. Together, we can make every moment count.
Yes, we do have our personal flyby on TSP.
Yes. Hey, isn't that Wiz's plane?
It is, yes.
Okay, because Doc
when he
knows
broke it.
Yeah.
Doc knows Matthew Wiz Buckley.
You do?
He does.
Oh,
Yeah, I
wow,
met him
that's crazy.
randomly.
We had to talk about that. Like a couple weeks ago. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's so cool. He knows Matthew
That's
Wiz
cool.
Buckley.
He's doing a lot of cool
Yeah.
things today.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
Welcome
before
to
we
the
get
show.
started, welcome. Let me see. What do I have? October 18th, Music Fest at Hop Springs. Be there, be square at Middle Tennessee. If you're in Murfreesboro in middle October, come down and see us. We'll be there hanging out. Vet Fest is coming up. I'm going to let Andrew talk about that. What else we got going on? Not much.
Is that
it's
it?
Slow
Really?
time right now. Yeah.
Wow, that is.
We're in a lull.
Hey, listen, man. After that golf tournament, you killed it. I mean, you made 10 grand and you killed it.
Yeah, and somebody literally told me after the day after I ran into somebody that was there, and they said, "Hey, Richard, you know what? So I just want to tell you this: people literally do this for a living, where they organize golf events. You did it. You work full time. You run a nonprofit. You run two podcasts, and this was the best golf outing I've ever been to." And I was like, "Wow, that's quite a compliment. Thanks." And I'm not saying this because it was my golf outing, but it was so amazing. It started at 7 o'clock in the morning. Check in at 7 in the morning. At 7:45, we had a guy playing the national anthem with the bagpipes. He not only did he tricked us, he played the national anthem, and then he went into like 3 or 4 different patriotic songs. It was amazing, and that's what started the day up. It was so badass, and that literally set the mood. And it was it was a great day.
I'm sorry I missed it, man. I'm sorry I was sick, but
you're good.
But you killed it. And thank you for the bagpiper because he is playing at my event. He's going to get there early.
Yeah. I told him, I'm like, "Oh, dude, yeah, you have no idea. I'm putting you to work now."
So
he's great.
These are my announcements, and I'm going to work into where the bagpiper
is.
But
go for it, buddy.
October 5th is Vet Fest in Brentwood, Tennessee. October 13th, me as a Marine am going to pay tribute to our Navy brethren because it is their birthday on the 13th. And I am having a birthday party / Ton Tavern fundraiser at my Freemason Lodge. And Captain Harvey, actually, a.k.a. Colonel Harvey, is one of our guest speakers. Doc, you remember Colonel Harvey, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be awesome. We're going to have the bagpiper. It's going to be awesome. It's catered. I'm going to do the apps. Katrina is decorating the entire downstairs in navy blue, gold, and white. So it's going to be very, very awesome because we love the Navy. You guys, I love the ship. I love the Kearsarge. I love everything about the Navy. My dad was Navy. Fleek is Navy. Doc Radabaugh was my corpsman. I love him because he was Navy. I have a greater value for the United States Navy after my 7-month tour on the USS Kearsarge. So thank you to all of our Navy sailors. You guys are fucking awesome. And I want to give a shout out to Tim Hickey in Ohio. Thank you again for making me into a sticker. It's pretty cool when you can say, hey, check out my sticker. It's only $6.99. And Tim Hickey is a fellow Marine. Thank you, buddy.
How'd you get him to do that?
I'm a big fan, and I liked a lot of his shit. And he's like, hey, I'm doing this thing where my fans are going to be made into a sticker or a patch. So I'm in 4 mission barbecues on a pole.
Who did that?
Me, I did. I put myself on a pole.
A stripper pole?
A stripper pole in the middle of mission barbecue, I guess.
That's awesome. I want a sticker of myself.
Hey, if you need stickers, if you need whatever,
no, I want a sticker of myself.
dude, talk to Tim. He's a fellow Marine. I think he was with 2.4 or 3.7, but he's a good dude. He does coins. He does stickers. He does. He can actually make a big Detroit Lion, like huge, like sticker of you, like for the back of your wall right there.
Well, I got plenty of.
He's great.
those.
I'll send you his email. You guys,
Hey, listen.
You guys have fun.
I'm gonna show you something.
What's that? Yeah, this is his man.
I got no shortage of Detroit Lion stickers on my wall.
Good to go.
There's another one over here, but you can see the big guy.
Yeah, I do.
I have a life-size sticker up there too. He's catching a football.
Yeah, it's looking good. Those are my announcements. So let's get into our wonderful guest,
the doc.
Doc
Hey,
Nathan Radabaugh, who I had the pleasure of serving with 20 years ago, and guess what, guys? He looks the same. He hasn't changed a goddamn bit.
Hey, Doc, after you introduce yourself and we get about 10 minutes into the show, after you get done talking, I want you to explain from start to finish to our civilian friends that are listening what a silver bullet is.
Ooh, good. That's a good one.
Yes.
Good one.
I'll enlighten everybody.
Hey, America needs to know.
America needs to know. And who would know more than, the corner?
All right, Doc.
All right, Doc.
Who's Doc?
All you. Who are you?
Hello, everyone. I'm Nathan Radabaugh. As I said, I joined the Navy in 2003, right after high school from Kansas. All that good jazz. Man, those recruiters didn't tell me shit about the whole Marine Corps Navy relationship at all. That was definitely a big surprise for me when I joined. And then, it was great, man. I went to Quantico, did Operation Bulldog, and then checked in at 3-8. And so, we deployed 05, 06, Fallujah, Ramadi. So I was with India Company, then Kilo Company. I got 2 companies. Then I had my little 3-year relaxation tour in Rota, Spain. That was at the Naval Hospital. So
bastard.
It was everything you could have imagined it to be.
I bet it was.
Oceanfront apartment with topless women running out there. And dude,
are you serious?
Oh, dead serious. Yeah. I mean,
dude,
and I came out of a divorce going into Rota. So divorced after Iraq, I go to Rota, single, divorced. It was
on.
Yeah, it was on. I mean, I not only worked at the hospital there, but then I also had a part-time job at the MWR, and I got my first 2 years of school knocked out, and I partied. I don't know how, and I did. Of course, you're like, 24, 25, or we were like 22 back then. Yeah, I was like 22 years old. So you have like energy for days. You can just, Yeah.
I was 27. I was 28.
You were older.
I was the old. They called me the grand old man every fucking day of my life.
Yes.
Thank you, Dobbs. Thank you, Switzer.
I love when you look back and go, "That's old."
Exactly. Yeah. I'm 58 now. I'm like, wow, really? 27
I
is
mean,
old?
this guy served on the CVN 70, Carl Vincent, and from 85 to 89. That's
Wow.
fucking old.
Well,
Mhm.
thanks, bro. Thanks.
Just kidding,
Good
man.
days.
Hey,
good days.
listen, dude.
Yeah.
You chased down the fucking Russians in the Bering Strait, okay?
Yeah.
We can't say that. I can't say that. Doc can't say that. But you kept us free from communism.
Hey, you know what I got out of all those years of chasing Russians? You know what I got out of that?
A patch.
I got a meritorious unit.
Oh, you got a muck? All right.
Yeah.
Sweet.
That's all I got for it.
I never got a muck. Sorry.
Didn't 3A get like a presidential unit citation?
We got a NUC. We got a Navy unit citation for
That's right.
the 22nd MEU, and the humanitarian service. But we did not get a puck, and we did not get a muck, unfortunately.
We were supposed to get one after Ramadi, I think, right? We were supposed to get a puck. Yeah, we were supposed to get a puck. There's a lot of things we were supposed to get.
Hey, Harvey got a Bronze Star with a V for that thing, for taking down the Ramadi Hospital. I remember that. Jesus. Sorry, Nathan, continue. We segue a little bit.
Yeah, we do that a lot. We squirrel a lot on this show. Sorry, buddy.
Dude,
Man, when I was in Spain, I got introduced to weed. I got introduced to weed. No weed. No, I had herpes. Knock on wood. I'm the guy punching the board, telling guys to wear a condom. I'm the guy going, no, I'm wearing a condom maybe sometimes. But yeah. Man, I smoked weed and I was like, fuck. I was like, I want to do the college thing and go out to California and smoke weed and chase girls and do college. I was wanting to fuck off a little bit for sure. Yeah. And I did. Yeah, for sure. Went out to Chico, California. They're known as a party school. But of course, at that point, you're like 24 and you feel old next to the 18-year-old college kids, right?
Oh,
they're chugging liquor out of plastic bottles. I'm like, dude, I've graduated the microbrews.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like, I'm not doing that. I've been there, done that, been there, not going back there again. Like, no, that cheap shit, that was infantry, like Mad Dog 2020.
Yeah.
Mad Dog. I'm not doing that shit again. Like, it was the cheapest shit. You get a plastic jug of whatever booze that was the cheapest on the shelf. Yeah.
Popov's, Popov vodka, or a military special.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So, did the whole school thing. And then it was interesting. So as a hobby, because I was into the whole weed thing, I was into it where I was doing my nighttime classes in Spain in Rota on cannabis legalization and different topics like that, starting to explore it because I was wrong. Oh, nice. Pop dots.
Oh, that's why you're acting. Okay. All right. Now I understand. You're on something right now, Fleek. All right.
I am not. It was just sitting here.
Yeah. So I started getting into like manufacturing cannabis. Ooh, got a vape pen?
Yeah.
Yeah. I started getting into manufacturing cannabis and I started dabbling in the black market. And so, all the clandestine stuff and all that, I'm like looking over your shoulder. Well, I'm used to that. It's like, oh, we got to avoid feds and cops. Easy. Let's do it. And so, but it was cannabis and I was in, psychedelics manufacturing, but I got in that realm for a decade, guys. Like legit, like it started off in all that realm, but then I transitioned into a startup company, did different ones, but they were like all these medical companies. I jumped into the hardware manufacturing where we made the machines that processes all of this. And so I came on board with a company where we had the founder, we had an engineer, 2 engineers. And in 3 years, we built that company to over 50 employees, ISO 9001 certified in manufacturing facility. And we were making $60 million.
Holy fuck.
Yeah. So 500% growth 2 years in a row, building this. It's not even like some marketing thing where you just outsource. No, building it all in-house, American made, all that type of stuff, American steel, the whole thing. And so went through that whole thing. So like I got into the legitimate side where I'm going to conferences. I'm on the sales, business development side of things. And I've done several companies in the cannabis industry, going to conferences, speaking about this type of topic, more on the technological science side of things. And we even sold equipment. It was interesting. We had a company I was at called True Steel. We got, we made machines for Mike Tyson. So we got autographed boxing gloves, which is kind of cool.
Nice.
But we had a letter from Trump during Operation Warp Speed. So we got an executive order sent to our company because of our client being one of the a pharmaceutical company that we're building these machines for the vaccine. And so we got a signed letter from Trump saying you have to prioritize this client above all others. You are now under the Operation Warp Speed. Da, 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 da. I was like, oh shit, we got presidential direction. Like, cool.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of cool. Despite the whole bullshit of the vaccines.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I think it's cool. Yeah. So for like a decade, guys, I was not only like in the cannabis space, right? So in the technological side, growing, manufacturing, processing. I was also involved in the psychedelic world and a lot deeper into it. So everything from not only, of course, myself going down that path of first experiencing it for myself from a therapeutic context, but then getting into the facilitation side of things. I've actually worked with some veterans with different medicines. And so, yeah, a lot of experience, a lot of people I've met over the years. But yeah, that's how I met Wiz was through one of the cannabis psychedelic conferences out in Florida. And I was
just going to say this is how Wiz ties in.
Mm-hmm. This is exactly how Wiz
was
ties in.
Was that in Orlando?
I want to say it was, or Miami. No,
okay.
It was Fort Lauderdale, Miami area.
Okay,
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, he lives in Boca, so he didn't fly his plane. He could probably drive his Porsche.
That man owns 2 fighter jets himself.
I know. Yeah, it's crazy.
He mentioned that brief. He mentioned just very nonchalantly said something about having a fighter jet, and I said, "Oh, did you just say you have a fighter jet?" Because I'm like hanging out with him.
2 of
He's
them.
a Top Gun pilot, Top Gun F-18 pilot, like Tom Cruise shit, right? Like the fucking shit in the movies. Yeah. And then I have Brian, a Navy SEAL, another guy shit from the, like I'm like another badass motherfucker. We're talking about psychedelics, but I get it. And he's like, I'm like, wait a minute, did you say you have a fighter jet? He goes, I have 2 LL-37s. I was like, bro, that sounds awesome. He goes, it's so much fun. I was like, oh shit. I was like, that's so cool. I gotta fly in those one day.
He flew one up here to Murfreesboro last year at the Science, Technology, Energy,
in
whatever.
The spring. It was
so cool.
6-7 months ago.
Yeah.
I bet you that's not a cheap flight and fuel.
Murfreesboro Airport, they covered I think $7,000 worth of it, and then we had to get the rest of the money to help that out because that's a lot of fuel.
Like 20 grand in fuel or something.
At least. So hey, Nathan, you do a lot, Doc. Sorry, I never called you by your
whatever
first
you want
name.
to call me. Yeah, all good.
So you experimented with all this stuff. Is there any good things coming from like MDMA research, shit that I used to take in the 90s in college? And I would go like listen to Darude and Sandstorm and like go like break my face down. But how's MDMA?
Yeah.
Does that work?
MDMA is amazing. Yeah, we're seeing people with 1 to 2 sessions having complete resolution of PTSD. Like it's pretty amazing stuff. Now, I have to preface that monotherapies, expecting to just give a drug and you're going to have all this magical change. It's not how it works, right? And so what you're seeing in all reality is you're looking at this as a multimodal approach, right? So you have to look at the entire physiology of a human being to make sure they're set up to start unpacking this trauma and to start dealing with a lot of this. So, when I was over at the Where Angels Foundation, we're over there specialized in treating traumatic brain injury and PTSD in combat vets. So on that team, the neuroendocrinologist is Mark Gordon. It's founded by Andrew Marr. He's a Green Beret. And stakeholder, they've been on Joe Rogan 3 times. He's one of the stakeholders for them. So it's Randy Couture, Chad Henning, and a former Secretary of Defense. I can't remember which guy. But former Secretary of Defense is also a stakeholder. And so they look at, so Dr. Mark Gordon is like, hey, listen, the people that I'm treating, and he's treating mostly special force operators, primarily more than anybody else. And so, like, for example, someone like Andrew, he wrote a book called Quiet Explosions, and he was a breacher. So he's been over 1,000 close range C4 blast breaching doors. Mm-hmm. So all that micro trauma in the brain over time, right? And so that's what that book, Quiet Explosions, about, the hidden scars of war and stuff like that. And so Dr. Mark Gordon is like, hey, listen, these men are screened for mental resilience. These are our nation's toughest people mentally. And he goes, and you have the VA and doctors telling them they have a mental disorder. And he's like, they do not have a mental disorder. He goes, there is a chemical signature to PTSD that we can pick up in the analytics, extensive, blood analytics, and looking at everything from nutrient deficiencies to hormones. And so what we're finding is the big issue with, like, say, traumatic brain injury, which is where we're seeing a tie into the PTSD, right? Yep. So it's this neuroinflammation. Same thing with PTSD. It's this neuroinflammation. And the whole idea is, like, if you can get the neuroinflammation down, the body will heal itself and start to create new pathways and start to work around stuff, but not if it's inflamed. If the brain, the body overall is inflamed, it won't happen. So they looked at it as going, so there's certain interventional lifestyle changes, sleep, exercise, sunlight, oxygen, movement, that type of stuff. Then you have your nutrition. You have to look at it as a target, like supplementation protocols. And what we do is, so we do blood work. We sit there and go, they give just a standard, like, supplement that's a brain supplement that has a whole bunch of different stuff, CoQ10, fish oil, all these different things. And they'll give that to them for a couple months. And then they give them, then they test them to see where the deficiencies now are that they've been supplementing. So usually you see things like testosterone's in the tanker, which is a common thing with, especially with explosions. The HPA axis gets messed up. So your body's ability to regulate these hormones is out of whack, including the foods and the plastics and all these estrogenic compounds is killing testosterone. And so you have agitation, suicide, a lot of this stuff is low testosterone. And so also things like growth hormones, another one we're seeing really low. And so when we can come in and do these lifestyle interventions, supplements, hormone replacement therapy, and we address the physiology first, we bring the neuroinflammation down, we get to the body in this healthier state. Now we can handle the trauma. Now let's go ahead and unpack the trauma. I did it kind of out of order in a way where I started deeply trying to unpack trauma without the right support, physiology, and stuff like that. And the problem you can run into with psychedelics, not given the right prep and setup, is you can re-anchor in some trauma and make it worse. You can literally come out of it worse than you were before. And so that's doing it the wrong way. So what we're finding now with the research and the science is this multimodal approach of, like, working with the body. So like you're doing functional medicine, peptides, and different things like this, get the body ready, and neurochemical support before these ceremonies. But MDMA, which is, I believe, in phase 3 clinical trials with the FDA, so it's in human research. The VA has officially this year conducted their first MDMA trials.
I heard about that.
So it's great. I've done it. I had a Marine in 0311 that I facilitated. He was a Phantom Fury guy, did the whole Fallujah deal.
Oh, shit. Ooh, Phantom Fury guy.
Yeah, he was in, I think he was in 0331, if I remember correctly. And so, big square jawed. Yeah. And he was all like, hey, do you mind facilitating ceremony? And I was like, let me have a friend who's really experienced join me, because I'm like sitting here going, fuck, what the fuck are we going to find from fucking Phantom Fury, bro? Like, Ramadi was crazy. Don't get me wrong. Like, but dude, Phantom Fury was some shit. I've seen the pictures. I'm like, that's some shit, bro. That was some arguably gnarlier than what we went through. I'm sure it's all bad. It's all bad, but I'm like, bro, that was some shit. Like, a lot of people died during that push. Like, that was in a short amount of time. That battle was insane.
Yep.
And his ceremony, so he grew up Mormon.
Oh.
Right. So, yeah. So
luck out.
Nothing.
That's the only Mormon that I know.
The ceremony had nothing to do about Fallujah. This dude repressed his gayness or sexuality or whatever. Literally, he came out to me and my friend, or this guy. He'd never told any straight person before, but he was married and banging hundreds of dudes behind his wife's back.
Oh, Lord.
This was a guy who actually was a ladies' man too, who's also he was a man whore. You know what I mean? Like, dude, this guy, that Marine was a machine. He was just running through, you know, like you know what I mean? Like, he's one of those kind of guys, square jawed, cocky, and fit and trying to slay. So they did.
Shit, I've heard that fucking forever, dude.
Yeah,
Damn.
and then
I thought all Marines were like that.
Dude, he came out of the closet. As much all the personal opinion aside, I'll tell you what, this guy had a bag of bricks, felt like came off his back, and now he acts gay as shit. This Marine went from fucking to like, I was like, oh my God. And I was like, bro, and he's got himself, instead of now these young girls, he's got like a little young 20-something Latino boy.
Oh my God.
He was so it was interesting.
More power to him, man.
Good, good for him.
But no,
for
you'll
him.
like this. This is something you'll like though. So he told me all this at the house during the ceremony, and I'm like thinking, this guy's married to a Mormon, and I'm like, I'm gonna be real straight with you. If you want to be in my friend circle, I'm not okay with this. And I was like, you're risking her life and all this stuff. You're unsafely going on Craigslist, dude, and slaying through dudes. Like, that's exactly how you get AIDS.
Yeah.
And I was
that's
like,
not cool. Yeah.
And your wife will never be okay with this, bro. She's a Mormon. Like, there's no fucking way in hell that's going to roll over well in any which way. And I was like, if you want to be my friend, you got to go end your marriage when you leave my place. And I was like, and I'm going to be real clear with you. Don't you dump your conscience and fucking tell her what you did. I go, that will only hurt her. To be fucking on it. You do not want to be honest about you do not want to be honest about that, dude. Like, and so when he left my house, he was going to a veteran 5-day meditation retreat. He comes home after that retreat and there's divorce papers on the table. She knew he was cheating. Didn't know exactly what was gone, but she knew it was been going on for a while. She found a guy, a boyfriend. And so my buddy calls me upset. And I fucking went off on him. I was like, first of all, you've been cheating on her first, like with hundreds of fucking people. So like, I'm like, fuck you. I was going off on this Marine. I was like, I don't fucking want to hear this. I was like, you fucking motherfucker. And I was just going off. And I was like, and you're not even looking at this in the right perspective. You don't have to dump her and tell her, you don't have to be the bad guy. I go, you literally can go be gay and she has emotional support. You literally can go, gone.
Done.
And he was all like, and he looked at me and he goes, fuck, doc. And he's like, God damn it. He's like, normal person can't say that shit to me. And I was like, I fucking right? And he's like, you're right. You're right. And he's like, you're right. Actually, yeah. I can go do da-da-da-da. And I'm like, yeah, go be gay. Go fly your gay flag and pride shit.
Do you,
whatever
man?
Makes you happy. Yeah, do you, boo? Like, whatever.
Yeah,
bro.
whatever.
After all the shit you went through, I don't give a fuck. Like, go fucking sleep with whoever you want. You know, like, I don't care.
You know, you just reminded me of like the BAS and like you yelling at some of our Marines. And I'm like, you just used some of the same words, the same tone. It probably when 2nd Platoon ran a train on some girl. I was not there, by the way.
Oh, Lord.
And you probably had to punch a lot of boars after Virginia Beach. Remember that?
There was a lot of that, bro. Are you kidding me?
HPV, like everywhere.
It was 2 of the guys in India when we got back. They got an STD from the same girl that same weekend. Because I punched one motherfucker's boar. Then he goes back to the barracks like a dumbass and tells everyone that Doc punched his boar. So in 3 seconds flat, it like wildfire spreads and everyone knows that he got his dick punched. So I'm like, I'm not the one spreading hip of shit. And I was like, God, everyone knows already. And then they were like, oh, you know, I think it was Bigley.
Again.
He was all like, Bigley said, he's like, Bigley, he thinks it's the same girl. I think it was him. I'm apologize. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure it was him and it was Bennett or someone. I can't remember who the 2 were. I can't remember. It's so hard to remember back then, but yeah, but I remember knocking on maybe someone. I don't know. It might have been, but I remember I'm not for sure. Forgive me if wives are listening, and I'm not trying to get
Yeah,
in
guys.
trouble. But
Hey, this is all hearsay, guys. All of it.
Yeah,
it's all
hearsay.
circumstantial.
I want to give.
But I literally knocked on his door, and I was like, "Hey," and I was like, "You heard about so and so having chlamydia?" And he goes, "Yeah." And I go, "Heard you fucked the same chick?" He's like, "I did." I was like, "You wear a condom?" And he's like, "The first time I fucked her." And I was like,
how many times?
So no. Yeah, exactly. I'm like,
Yeah.
You guys are passing her back and forth all weekend. I'm like, Jesus. And then I was like, he's like,
First of all, that's
I'm not
disgusting.
getting my bore punch. Yeah, he's like, I'm not getting my bore punch. I was like, just imagine fiery razor blades coming through.
No.
Day,
I've had it done twice, and I no.
2 hours later, he's knocking on my door. Hey, I changed my mind. Can we go to BAS? And I was like, oh yeah, let's go.
Hey, Doc, can you do me a favor? I want you to explain to our civilian friends that are listening what a bore punch is.
Okay, yeah, good. Love to. Good example. We had one of the NBC Marines. It's this big, tall, redheaded dude. I don't remember what his name was. He was with NBC stuff. Did all the gas chambers.
Gas.
Yeah, and so you get an STD and you got to check by swabbing the bore with the Q-tip. And then you test in the lab, see if it's gonorrhea, chlamydia, whatever. But yeah, this Marine, so he comes in and we send him over to building whatever, the other clinic, and then he comes back and he's pissed. And we're like, what are you pissed about? And he goes, they gave me this antibiotic shit. They told me to have you guys give me this in a shot. And I'm like, so what's the problem? And he goes, they didn't punch my board. They told me, looks like a duck, acts like a duck, it's chlamydia. And then he's like, and I go, what's the problem? He goes, if I have an STD, I want the whole fucking experience, and I want my bore punched. And so then we grabbed it. So we grabbed RP because this dumb Marine doesn't even know what the Corpsman thing versus the RP thing. So we grabbed RP, and we grabbed one of the big Q-tips on the wood stick one because it was bigger. And so he's like in the middle of the BS, drops drawers, grabs his dick, and he's like, just give it to me. Like, bro, dead in the middle of the fucking clinic. Like,
oh my God.
And of course, he goes up, pushes in, twists, pulls. And he's like, that ain't, just starts screaming. I'm like, man, there you go. But that was that dude. This Marine was the guy with no gas mask in the gas chamber going and smelling above the shit as a cup. He's one of those little screw loose,
Marines are off a little bit, man.
We are. You have to be a little off to join the Marine Corps.
100%. Okay? Marines are different. They're just
they are very different.
I mean, during a piss test, I think Doc, either you or Beavis or Boodle, you're like, hey, I need some meat gazers. I'm like, oh, what? Huh? I'm like, yeah, sure. And I had to go watch them fucking pee for a urinalysis before we went on the ship. That was horrible. That was terrible, by the way. That was the worst fucking job I ever got.
You loved
it. Hated it. Dude, I don't want to see all that meat. I'm like, no, I'm sorry. Hey, Doc mentioned man whore. I was one of them. Like, I had to get my bore punched out in town. I didn't want to go to BAS. I had to get it out in town because I dipped my wick in something dirty.
Whoops.
Wilmington, North Carolina, at the Irish bar there. Yeah, she was dirty. Very dirty. Oh, good times. Good times, Nathan. Good times.
Hey, Doc, was the war already raging on when you joined?
Yeah, so I joined 2003. So
let me ask you a question.
Just kicked off, basically. I think it kicked off, was it 02, really, when it kicked
2002.
off? Yeah.
That was the initial push was 02.
So let me ask you a question. Just knowing the history of docs through the Vietnam War, knowing that there's the rate of survival in the battlefield is like 30 seconds. Why would anybody want to be a doc knowing that, you have a big mark on your back?
Really good recruiters. Good salesman. The Navy has the best.
Yeah.
So like when I had no idea, I went to Corpsman school. Then they sent me to Fleet Marine school, and at Fleet Marine school, they had a classroom of like 400 people. I had orders to Pensacola, Florida, to the Naval Hospital, but I knew after the Naval Hospital, they're going to send me to Iraq. I was like, there's no fucking getting out of this situation. It's either now or later. And I had orders to Pensacola, and I was like, they had everyone in the room. It was a big deal. And they're like, listen, we're losing too many lives on the battlefield. we need people to volunteer to change their orders to go to Greenside. And any volunteers? And I thought, fuck it. I didn't really want to go to Florida. I wanted to go overseas. Fuck it, I'll just get the Marine shit out of the way. And I was like, I want to do Casevac, air wing shit. Raise my hand. And I look around. I'm the only fucking person with the fucking hand in the air. And I look around. I go, and I see the fucking E6 instructor fucking coming down. I was like, oh, no, HM1 Banks. No. And then he's all like, he goes, you want to change your orders? I go, I want to do Casevac with the air wing. He goes, roger that, division. And then walks away. I was like, oh, no. And then after class, I chased him down. And I was like, H1, were you joking? He's like, no, I'm not. It's going to be good for you. It'll build character. I was like, this motherfucker. Oh, yeah, he just sent me to the battlefield.
And you know what? You did a lot of good for us, man. Us Marines, we love our corpsmen. All right. Dude, you were Greenside. We call you guys Devil Dogs. Like, you guys are like basically fucking Marines with a fucking anchor on you instead of an EGA. I mean, you guys are awesome. Like RPs and corpsmen, you guys are fucking amazing people. Amazing.
Anytime I run into a Marine.
No offense to the yeomen over there. Yeomans are very important too. Sorry. No offense, yeoman.
Well, I mean, the corpsman is the most decorated rate in the Navy. It's all right. It's like got a lot of awards. Well, it's because we're fucking with these jarheads.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Do you have a gold star on your combat action ribbon, Doc?
I don't know. Probably. We went twice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I got a Navy comm with a V. I got a Navy comm with a V.
You got a Navy comm with a V?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah,
on the
Doc.
first deployment.
I didn't know that. I forgot
yeah.
that you got that.
Yeah, when they had that 7-ton mass casualty shit when it rolled on me and.
Oh yeah.
But it was a 2-day thing because then there's that Carr family that went through a checkpoint, got shot up.
Yep.
And then we medevac that mom and daughter out.
Yep.
I met up with Manna Lanson halfway. And Manna Lanson, because he had a 3.
Dude, I just saw him last year. Doc Manna Lanson, he's good people.
He had like a little girl, a couple-year-old daughter at home. And so when I come off with an MRE box that I made as a backboard with a limp 3-year-old, I'm trying to do CPR coming off this thing. And he's all like, went ghost white. And I looked at him. I was like, do you need me to go with you? And he's like, yes. I was like, let's go. And we had the whole family doing CPR on this little girl on the whole ride back we kept her alive. And then she died, I think, the next day.
Oh, damn. So what's the most gruesome thing you ever seen in combat? Can you talk about
that little girl? Yeah, that little girl was shot in the head. That's pretty bad. No, I mean, that little girl was shot in the head. I remember doing CPR and quickly learning why you have to put the neck back further because I aspirated her stomach went and blew up with air. And I was like, oh. And then because of that, she puked in my mouth. That was gross. That was gross. I mean, sticking silver bullets in dirty Marine. Actually, I'll tell you one of the grossest. I'll tell you the grossest. Actually, it's a Marine ass. It's a female Marine ass. So I'll go ahead and share this. When I was at Operation Bulldog in Quantico, so I was doing the OCS up there as staff. A lot of fun getting to be behind the scene with the DIs. And, it was great. Yeah, it was great getting to be there, being on that side of the fence, not getting the one going with the DIs. Like, you want to see me fuck with this guy? I'm like, oh yeah, fucking get him, Johnny, get him good. Like they're just having a great time with it. And so we had a big march. It was like a fucking 20-mile hump or something like that. We're doing a longer one. And I remember I was hella fit, dude. I was like, they're marching in 2 lines, and I'm running up and down with the pack on. Come on, motherfuckers, let's get, fucking
so motivated. Motivated.
And so I started at people drop. And this is where the silver bullet gets implemented, right? Because you're in Virginia in the summertime and it's like 100% humidity in Virginia and you're fucking forced marching in these fucking thick Virginia woods. And heat casualties, heat stroke, people start going down. And so I'm sitting here and I'm talking to, there's men and women in the OCS, right? So you got all mixed in and the whole thing. And so not all the companies were mixed, but there's some that are all male, some had 50 different rooms or something. And I'm talking to these 2 gals trying to figure out what the fuck is going on, you know, with them, and they're bitching and whining. And I'm getting ready to tell them I'm going to give them 500 milligrams to suck it the fuck up, get the fuck back out there, you know, like, I don't fucking care about your pain, fucking move, like, let's go, bitch, like, let's go, I don't give a fuck, you know. And
God, I love you, man. Holy shit.
Lady, mind you, these girls are poor ladies are in OCS boot camp, you know. And so this girl walks up. God damn, I remember she looked like Raggedy Ann. She had that curly hair, this white chick. She looked like Raggedy Ann. She walked up, and this white girl, she just walked up and just went and collapsed right in front. I was like, fuck, heat casualty. So I grab her, throw her in the back of the ambulance, and then I got those two girls, and I was like, come with me. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with you yet, but come with me. Jump in. So we got in the back, and of course, I'm brand new. I don't even know the fucking light switches in the ambulance. It's dark. I'm like, we're fucking hauling down out of these fucking training areas, trying to get back to the clinic where we have heat casualty teams, pools with ice. Like, we are prepped for the boot camp. This is what we do, is make sure people don't die from boot camp. Like, it's a whole thing. It's like how we have ice down IVs and ice and tubs and the whole thing. And so I'm like, fucking goddamn, can't fucking see. And the girl's like, Corpsman, this candidate has her moonbeam, Corpsman. And I'm like, oh, fuck. You know the third person shit they gotta do. And I'm like, my moonbeam.
Fucking moonbeam.
Corpsman, this candidate has her moonbeam, Corpsman. And I'm like, give me your flashlight. Give me this shit. Fucking, I'm like, turn it on so I can see. And I fucking pull this girl's pants down in front of these other two chicks, pull her butt cheek up, fucking stick a silver bullet in. You know, and these girls are in boot camp. It's not like they get a shower more than like 20 seconds. And then they're on a forced march in the middle of the summer. It was like a tropical environment going down there. Everything was fucking cooking. It was like goddamn sauerkraut sandwich going on, you know? And I fucking, bro, and it hit me, the smell. and every bit I felt coming, like everything. And I remember in the back of my head going, you get it together, motherfucker, right now. You fucking lock down and you fucking hold tight. And I'm just sitting here, I'm like, going, breathe through the mouth, breathe through the mouth, breathe through the mouth, and then a light, and then I'm pulling out. I'm like, 98.7. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? We get there, ambulance doors open. This girl just sits up. She faked being a heat casualty to get medevaced out, and she took a silver bullet, something a male Marine is not going to willingly take a silver bullet up his ass. But the female's like, shit. She faked it. She's like, stick it in. And then the candidates, the other two chicks, she goes, Corpsman, good thing this candidate had her moonbeam. Who knows what hole you would have stuck it in? And I was like, because these girls are horny and they say shit, and you're like, I'm not engaging with you. This is like, because they will, like, because you go in the birthing area and you got to go like, knock, 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 mail on deck. Yep. And they're like, mail on deck, all clear. You know, and they do the little thing. And
just like at the birthing area and shit, man.
I'm like, eyeballs, snap, ears, open, you know, and then all of a sudden it's like I get to address the fucking. I'm like, this is great. I get to be like a DI and yell at Marines. I'm like, yes. That's
awesome.
It was great.
She took it like a champ.
I'll tell you what, the big difference between officers and enlisted. So the enlisted, they'll take your fat ass and turn you into a Marine. As an officer, you have to pass a fucking PFT to even qualify for boot camp. Like, you don't get to start boot camp unless you can pass a PFT. So it's like, you cannot be out of shape and join to be an officer. It's not going to work. Bro, they run those motherfuckers like crazy.
What rank were you when you were in up there?
Oh, there? I was like
third class, second class?
Yeah, like an E2 or 3. I was right out of school.
Yeah, you're a boot.
E2, E3. I was a boot. I wasn't even in the fleet yet. That was like pre-fleet. Summertime, it was like one of those temporary duty stations.
Yeah.
So they broke your ass in, right?
Duty. It was great. I mean, that was fun being in Quantico, and then checking into the fleet was a different fucking animal because that wasn't. See, like Quantico and OCS, you're checking in this clinic, and it's all these Navy people, and hi, welcome aboard. That's not when you check in. When I check in, well, fuck. I mean, FMF school was intense because you actually have like more of the DI kind of environment. You know, you walk in, I'm like, first time seeing a Marine Corps uniform, and I'm like, everyone looks so intimidating. I was like checking in my dress blues, and I'm like, fucking, I don't even know if it's a Marine or Navy guy because they're all wearing Marine shit. And I'm like, don't even know what the fuck is going on. I'm like, I'm on a fucking Marine base. God damn it, this is so scary. I was like, this is not what I signed. I didn't sign up for that. I signed up for the Navy shit. I was like, oh, Mom, I'm going to be on a ship. We're going to go see all these countries. It's going to be great.
No, you're sliding the silver bullet in a freaking disgusting horny chicks.
Yeah. when did you get to 3-8?
I got to 3-8 right when you guys got back from Haiti.
Okay, so you got there probably
Right,
November 2004?
Or sooner. It was August.
Okay. I was still in boot camp because I graduated September.
September, I think. Yeah, something like that.
And I got to 3-8 December 17th, 2004. And I remember like going to BAS, like when you get there, you're like, you have to go to SIF gear, you have to get your MVG, like all this shit, your NBC shit. And then you have to go to BAS, you get more shots. You guys gave us, what the hell was that shot you gave us January 2005? Because I fucking was sick as
smallpox.
Dude.
That was the one we did before CAX. So everyone had the CAX Band-Aids and everyone's had the special trash can bag saying, biohazard, please don't scratch it, Marines.
Yeah.
Don't fucking don't.
You had three guys hypothermia at CAX, right?
Yeah, so that was the first blizzard in like 33 years.
Yeah.
That was insane. Yeah, because it was one of those, dude. I remember it was like, I don't even think we had planned on training. And then it was like, pack your fucking bags. You're going to the field now. It's like, you got an hour. Loading on the truck. So it's like, all right, fucking let's go. What are we packing for? And then, dude, we were out there that night. And I remember it was like raining all night. And I remember I woke my bivvies, like bivvy sacks floating in water. Yeah. My legs are floating in my bivvy sack. And then that rain turned into like freezing rain. And I was with the mortar team.
No. You were with the mortar guys?
Yeah, I was with the mortar guys at that time because I was an A gunner. They put me as an A gunner, so Doc got trained up as an A gunner.
What?
I was with weapons. So when I first got to the unit, you know, you had your first, second, third platoon, and then you had weapons.
And the weapons, yeah.
And then integrated. But then they integrated, made 4, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's because I was with second. I got attached to them with Stockton, Kenny O'Pry, and you. Were you H&S or were you like attached to your weapons or 4th platoon, 3rd platoon?
I think 3rd.
Oh shit! With Gianetto and fucking
Gans, Staff Sergeant Gans.
Staff Sergeant Gans. Yeah, Gunny Gans. Gunny Troy. Yeah, I saw him last year too.
Yeah, Troy was there, and then it was Steve Kiesling. Lieutenant.
Dude, he's a MARSOC major right now in California. Wow. He's fucking he's a shit. Dude, I wish
he was a stud. He was
a stud.
He could out PT everybody. He was a stud. That motherfucker checked in like, yeah.
He's got a very hot wife, by the way. Oh my god,
always,
she is
bro,
fucking smoking, bro.
Bro, he told us in Iraq about how he got hit on by Jessica Simpson, then he tried to play hard to get, and that didn't work out. And then he's like, I missed out on it, could have had sex with Jessica Simpson. And I was like, he's always landed tens, like true, like Hollywood dimes. Like that is that guy. Yeah,
he's on LinkedIn. I found him. He won't respond back to me. Damn it.
Really?
Well, one of the guys was supposed to give me his phone number. I was going to give him a call because I liked him. Him and fucking Hagner and Pickard and then Edwards, Lieutenant Edwards, Eddie.
Okay.
The little guy.
Oh, yeah.
And then you had Captain fucking America.
Bro, I was at the gun range, indoor gun range up here. And there was a younger former Marine. So he joined probably like 2010, like way later.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. So he's like 2010, 12, no combat really or none of that. One of his staff sergeants, what was his fucking name? Hispanic dude from India company. Short.
Santiago.
I think
or
he was a boot. Yeah, I think it was Modesto. He was a boot when we were in. He was like a boot we were in. He's like, and then he goes, bro, he goes, wait a minute. What unit were you with? And I go, 3-8. And he goes, when? I go, 05, 06. And he goes, Oh, because every time you talk to them, those units, they go, "Oh, you were in the shit. You were in fucking 06 Ramadi." You know, like when people hear, they're like,
Oh yeah.
"Oh,
Well, yeah.
I've
yeah.
heard only stories." And he goes, "Wait a minute, one of my gunnies, he's a fucking hard ass motherfucker, and he was 3'8", and he was stacked to the gills." And I was like,
Yep.
"Oh, that sounds like one of our boys."
Yeah,
like,
Modesto lives
like
in
small world.
Modesto lives in South Carolina. Santiago's up in Maryland or something like that, and they're still huge. I mean, they're great. And I did talking to you.
I think it
it's
might have
bringing
been
back
Santiago.
all these names.
Yeah, it might have been. Yeah.
You know, Doc Robinson. You remember Doc Rob, right?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And then there was I connected with a couple of the guys. Corman, what's his last name? Miguel Monterez.
Oh, Monterez. Yeah, Doc Monterez. Doc Mon. Yeah, he's a Facebook friend of mine. I love Doc.
Yeah, he's on Facebook too.
I saw Beavis in Nashville on a park bench. I was like, just walking past him, and I was like, Beavis, what the fuck are you doing? And he was going through some shit right there, and I'm not gonna get into it, but I was like, of all the fucking places, my corpsman is on a bench in Nashville, and I'm walking past him, going to the Volkswagen dealership to pick up my car, and fucking Beavis is right there. I was like, what the fuck, Beavis? What are you doing?
Wild. Oh, I'm hold on. I'll tell you who I fucking ran into the other day. Hold on 1 second. What's his name? John, what's his last name?
John.
I think it's John. Hold on.
Pereira?
Hold on. His name is, I got it right here. Hold on. Where is that?
See? Hey.
Oh,
you hang out with the Marines, you're gonna we all act like each other, man. Doc is taking a page out of the FAR handbook right now.
So it was Suggs.
Oh yeah,
John Suggs.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm in a business conference a month ago, and I'm in a VIP mastermind, and sitting next to me in like a room of like 30 people, huh?
And he's there at a mastermind.
He's sitting next to me, and I don't even know. We didn't meet in the unit because he was with one of the other platoons, like second platoon, I think, or something like that. And so I'm sitting there, and then we go around and we do introductions. He's like, "Oh, you're a veteran." I was like, he goes, "What branch are you in?" And I go, "Navy." And he goes, "Figures." And I was like, "You?" And he's like, "Marine." I was like, "Oh God." And then he's all like, and I'm like, "Okay." And then I was like, of course, like Corman. He's like, "Oh, same thing. Okay, cool." And and then we started talking. I was like, he's like, "Yeah, I went 8th and I think he did 8th and I." And then he checked in at the unit. And then I was like, "Yeah." And then I checked in at 3-8. I was like, "Shut the fuck up." When? And he was like, "What?" And I was like, "Bro, India company." He goes, "I was in India company." I'm like, "Wait, what do you in?" I was like, "Shut up." And so we started just of course, sharing memory stories. I was like, how is it? Oh, so the 2 days conference, we're sitting side by side the whole time. We're joined at the hip, and he's fucking just shit talking and fucking joking the whole time. I'm like, oh man. I was like, you're gonna get me in trouble. I'm like, shut up. He owns a business. Yeah, he owns his own business, and
good for him.
Called USA Paint Striping. He does paint stripes parking lots. It's a national company. He's doing good.
Good for him.
He can't find enough people to employ, and he's trying to do.
Nobody wants to work anymore.
The military one where they what's it called? Where you job place. He's trying to do that thing, but he's like, God, there's so much bureaucracy with the paperwork, trying to figure this shit out, just to hire guys. And he's like, but I want to hire. He goes, I'd love to hire vets. And he's like, because I can pay him great, 6-figure. Guys can make money if you're willing to hustle for them.
Well, hey, Doc. Now that you talked about that, I'm actually gonna after this podcast, I'm gonna give you Jacob Fry's telephone number and his email to help you out with your disability.
Okay, cool.
He's a caseworker. He was a 3-7 Marine. Call him Big Red because he's a redheaded guy, and I've known him for 5 years. He's a great guy. He will definitely help you out.
Cool.
He's an Irreverent Warrior guy, so he knows Donnie O'Malley, same as me. Who, by the way, Donnie smokes, and I don't know if you've ever seen him do his little dancey thing, but he goes crazy at Coachella in California and San Diego and Vet TV, and I don't know.
Oh,
It's
so
awesome.
I wanted to mention real quick. So
Yeah.
of course I put here under my name. It's actually very recent, but yeah. So I'm the new vice president of Allegiance Project Foundation.
There you are. Congratulations.
And so, yeah, thank you. So what we're doing with the Allegiance Project Foundation is our primary mission is addressing school shooting, right? And so what we're doing, our part of our mission is we're actually solely, exclusively working with veterans. And so what we're doing is taking veterans and we are training and certifying as level 4 armed security, training them in 1-man, 2-man, close course, CQB, CQC. And CQC. So like our in terms of our combatives instructors, Randy, he's a Navy SEAL, fucking badass. This guy's legit, black belt, CQC, CQB. He's one of our big combatives instructors. We've got, our jujitsu guys. We've got our Secret Service agent. We've got contractors, former Army guys. We have a Marine 0311 on the team. Yeah. So
I'm signing up for this just to get the training.
So we have a shoot house, sim round shoot house north of Dallas and Van Alstyne.
Oh, yeah.
And so, type thing, like little, airsoft type shit for there because it's not a live fire. That's at a warehouse. So we train there. And so we are also training the local law enforcement agencies because you guys know a lot of these cops, they're not trained.
Right.
They don't have the money. No one's signing up to be a cop right now. So, for example, one of the local ISD districts, for them to become compliant in Texas with school security, it put them $1.5 million in the deficit for this district. And so these schools can't afford it. No one's wanting to become a cop. And so we're sitting there going, all right, let's take veterans. Let's start them off at like an E6 pay grade in terms of like $65K a year. Let's get them started. It's a lot better than the normal security positions. They're paying you not very much. And so we're navigating a lot of challenges as an organization, of course, right? So we have things like, we have Allegiance Project Foundation. Underneath that, we have our Checkmate Training and Checkmate Contracting Company. Those are actually, so with those two companies, we also generate revenue by doing executive protection details. So like we just covered RFK Jr. in his hair, and we did protection for him and Overwatch. Yeah.
All right.
So, dude, so we're doing things like that to raise money and try to drive it in. And then I'm working with the Matthew Easter. He's our founder, an amazing guy. His wife's a 2nd grade school teacher. And he's like, as a husband, my main job is to protect my wife and make sure she's safe. And he's like, and her as a teacher, she's at risk. And so this is why he started this. He's not a veteran, but he is a guy. You look at him and you would think he's a vet. You really would think he's a vet. He gives off the vibes, and he's that type of guy, straight shooter, solid guy. And he started this. He's put the team together. And so now we're helping, see how do we address scalability? So not only in Dallas, which we got 8 million people in Dallas-Fort Worth, right? It's giant. It's a problem that's nationwide. It's a problem not one organization can remotely begin to handle the need that's there. And so I'm working to help connect the company with other like-minded individuals. So that's like Jack Williams out in Austin, get connected with him, getting Tactical Carl down in Houston, Army vet officer down there. I'm getting connected with a Red Squadron guy through my buddy, Dylan.
Nice.
I'm just trying to get this network because we need to have a bigger conversation. How do we handle the school shooting? And by giving veterans a purpose to actually handle our nation's weakest and most vulnerable, I think it's an excellent idea. So when I met them and I go, you guys are doing what everyone's talked about. You guys have actually put this together. I was like, you don't even have to, don't ask. I'm already telling you I'm in. And then I started working with them. And then, of course, they, brought me in here recently to.
Dude, that's awesome, Doc.
Yeah. And so, it's really, really is cool. One, I love the great being around tactical guys, operators, getting to do the training. I mean, there's nothing more fun than clearing rooms and things like that. Like a lot of shooting steel. Like I love getting out there, shooting, training, moving, running and gunning. Love it all. And, obviously bring a little purpose, it's like, obviously it's like, I think a lot of vets always look at how can we help other people. I've heard about so many different recreational things over the years and all these different retreats. And to me, I don't think they move the needle that much sometimes. I think there's certain ones that are way better than others, but I think a lot of them going horseback riding or hiking for a weekend. I think it's great. Camaraderie, community, you need it. Awesome. Not talking shit, but it doesn't move the needle. And I think purpose is one of the biggest things with guys. If guys made money and weren't broke, I guarantee you they're going to be happier because money does buy happiness in this economy. Yeah, you need to be making 6 figures if you want to have a decent lifestyle. I mean,
Yeah,
you
for
know,
sure.
like you really do need to make money. And I was someone who never cared about money in my life and whatnot. And purpose, you know, think about it. But when I look back, I'm like, man, you got to help veterans help themselves. You got to give them purpose, you know, get after
Mission.
it. And then, of
Yeah,
course,
like you said, mission.
mission.
And guess what? John Barry, who we interviewed
Last
just
night?
last week or last night, he said the same thing. Once they find a mission, it's easy after that.
It's like all the other things and all the other problems. It's like, are
They
you
all
working?
fall into place. Yeah.
It's like, are you working? Because this whole I have PTSD bullshit, which I can't stand. I don't like that word. It's not meant to be used amongst patients. I don't like the word disability. It's all this victim mindset and culture.
Oh, I got
It's
a guy
I was actually
said,
talking
"Oh,
about.
it's
I
my
have a
TBI."
problem with the veterans. I've overextended myself to help vets and gotten screwed over enough over the years to learn I'm only interested in helping those that want to help themselves and help other people. I'm not doing the low vibrational guys that are the shit bags. You know what?
Yeah.
Go handle yourself with your pistol in your room. I can't do this. Keep having my heartstrings over some suicide threats and shit. I don't tolerate bullshit anymore from vets. You know, like
I'm trying to
get an
teach
easy
this guy
pass.
this.
Yeah,
Really?
it's a slow process. I'm learning about humble leadership versus pride-based leadership. So I'm trying to take it all in and do my Tai Chi and do my yoga and try and, you know, get back to, you know, the guy I was. But I was just talking to Matt Stevens, who lives in Alabama. He's like, Andrew, I don't know how you put up with us because we made fun of you every fucking day. One, because you were 26. Two, because you took a lot of our shit and you kept on going. And I'm, you know, but
what else are you going to do?
What else are you going to do? And I like the guys. I love all the guys that we served with. Doc, I loved you. I loved all the guys from first. Some of the guys from first, second, third, a couple guys from fourth. There are a couple guys that I will definitely not be calling anytime soon. No offense. But yeah, I mean, you know, you were a good friend, and I just, you know, love you, dude.
So
I appreciate it.
We're a tick over an hour. You want to ask the question?
Yeah. Sorry, we're at 101. Okay.
Yeah.
So, Doc, I'm going to ask you pick a number between 1 and 6 and 8 and 10.
Yes.
Two different numbers?
Two?
No,
Yeah.
One.
No. One number from two different things. Yeah. So 1 through 6.
Basically 1 through 10, but -7.
-7. So that's easy. Yeah. That's the Navy way to go.
Yeah. 3 and 9.
Okay.
Just pick one.
Okay. Just pick one.
3.
So you got 3. Here's your question. How did your military experience influence your perspective on life and adversity? That's a good one.
That is a great question.
It showed me the good and the bad. I think I'm able to look back now, grateful for the suffering and the adversity that, you know, it's one of those make or break kind of situations in the military. Either you show up or you're out. You know, I think experiencing a lot of loss, experiencing pain, grief, anxiety, depression allowed me the opportunity to fix it and to learn what it means to grow and heal. And so it's like, when God gives you opportunities, you know, like people say, oh, I asked God to give me strength, or maybe God gives you the opportunity to show strength. You know, like we always ask for God to do shit for us. I'm like, I don't think that's how prayer works, but you know, my dad was just saying they're in a prayer group, and one of the guys goes, let's pray for Carl. And he goes, Carl's got this and going. He goes, actually, how about every man right now commit within the next 24 hours to send Carl a text, checking in with him and see how he's doing? How about that? Because, you know, people use spiritual bypass. Oh, I'm just going to pray about it and it's going to be okay. Like we're wishing a coin in a well, like as if God's a man. I mean, it's not like that. It's like, you know, I just think it's funny how a lot of people in religion and all this stuff, but you know,
Doc, we have to have a longer conversation about that. I can't wait. Hey, I'm on the fence with you right now. And so we got to talk about this, you know, because I was on the, I'm going to get, you know, never mind. Not going to get into it right now, but we got to talk about it.
We will have another conversation at some point. What's up?
We're going to have a part 2 with you, Doc, if you want.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Because-
we can explore any topics. Man, I'll tell you what, I've done a lot of stuff for men's work, facilitating a lot of deep stuff. I'll tell you, the stuff we experienced in the military, what really made it bad is the fact that we all came in with wounds that got exacerbated. And you have a lot of people who have experienced a lot of really bad fucking things before the military. The military is cakewalk for a lot of people.
Oh, dude.
After some of the stories men have told me about their childhood, bro, and I'm like, my heart's ripping open. I'm sitting there like, my life is fine. I'm fine. I'm good. Like, I'm gravy. Like, all good. Never mind.
ACEs score before we came to the military was probably fucking huge. And then it just, woof. That's awesome.
If you guys are in Dallas, though, you got to come over to the Dallas Gun Club, buy you guys some dinner. We have executive chef it's like a country club. So we got 600 acres in Dallas, and big clubhouse, scratch kitchen. You eat and you watch guys shoot, skeet, and trap, and all that. We got rifle pistol.
I'm coming. Fleek, we're going to Dallas, and
yeah.
And
you don't drink anymore, right? You said
no. I've been sober 6 years now.
Yeah. We have like the cheapest bar in the U.S. It's like $10 Blantons, $4.50 for Wellers.
Okay, he can.
I'll be there.
That sounds
He's our DD.
I'm your DD. I'll drive you guys anywhere you want to go.
Yeah, no, it's an excellent club, though. I mean, it's been around since 1946, so there's a lot of history and legacy.
I hear there's good barbecue in Dallas, Fort Worth, also.
Oh, there's good in Texas. There's good barbecue for sure.
Yeah,
there's good barbecue.
But Doc, this has been a pleasure, an honor, a privilege talking to you.
Love it.
You're amazing. We definitely want to do a part 2. I think your episode will be airing in 2 weeks. Is that right?
2 Sundays.
Like 2 Sundays?
2 Sundays.
Cool.
So, but I'm going to make a post about you tonight, and so is Fleek. His actually sounds, I just say how much of a great guy you are, and then a little background. Fleek actually does like 3 paragraphs, and then he does the YouTube link and the Spotify and he does it right.
I don't know about that.
No, dude, seriously, your shit's locked on. It really is. But Doc, you're amazing, and we'll definitely be taking you up in Dallas. Okay.
Yes.
Love it.
Thanks for sticking around, Doc. Thanks for joining us. Stick around for a second after I hit the end record button. We just want to make sure that everything got uploaded okay. Again, thank you for tuning in. See you guys next Sunday. Peace and love.
Peace.
Peace.